Hi, there's a video up right now. It's called "The Gulf is a Crime Scene: Oil Spill Hearing Testimony from the National Wildlife Federation's Larry Schweiger." National Wildlife Federation President and CEO Larry Schweiger giving his testimony on the BP Gulf oil spill in front of the U.S. House Transportation and Infrastructure Committee on May 19th. Well, of course, he talks about how, it's doing a lot of damage, and he also says that the Obama needs to pass some kind of laws now to give the federal government the power to take over environmental monitoring, testing, and public safety protection from BP. And some other things. But here's what I think is really interesting. At the very end of this video, he says, "This crisis in the Gulf is about creating a safer energy platform for America." And the moderator, whoever that is, adds, he says, "Yes, making a safer energy platform really characterizes what we are in pursuit of in this hearing," among other things. He rephrased it, because what Schweiger said was, I will repeat, "This crisis in the Gulf is about creating a safer energy platform for America." Now, I may not know everything about economics and politics and things, but one thing I do know is grammar. And I can tell you that a change in grammar affects a change in meaning, as we grammar sticklers like to point out. If you say the crisis in the Gulf is about creating a safer energy platform, what that actually means is that the purpose of the crisis in the Gulf is to create a safer energy platform. It would be like if you said, this bake sale is about raising money for the gymnastics club. That would mean that the purpose of the bake sale is to raise money for the gymnastics club. It doesn't mean that the bake sale illustrates the need to raise money for the gymnastics club. You see what I'm saying? If he said, this crisis in the Gulf is about creating a safer energy platform, it doesn't mean it's about, it illustrates the need. It literally means that is the purpose of the crisis. So it could have been a slip, but these speeches are written in advance, and I'm pretty sure those people know grammar at least as well as I do. Well, maybe not, but they should know that if they phrase it this way, in a way, they're just admitting the agenda, that this is being done intentionally to push through the green agenda. And what's happening now? Climate change bill is on the table. Yeah, you might remember that in a previous vlog that I did a little while ago, I was showing you how the Council on Foreign Relations is, of course, very much in favor of shifting to green energy and things that, Obama should go further to push this agenda and should even go as far as, pushing the climate bill, although they said, well, given the circumstances, in the sense that given that you have to put enough propaganda out to maintain your political support. If you push it too fast, you're going to lose political support. So given the current situation, it may be too much to ask for. But now that the disaster has been being maximized, and they've refused all the eco-friendly remediation techniques like the oil-eating microbes, the skimmers, turbines, hair booms, all these things that people are offering them. A guy from a company that makes oil-eating microbes just contacted me and was telling me how they absolutely refuse any of these, and all they want to use is the toxic Corexit. And so you've got really the catastrophe being maximized. And now, USA Today, Senate Dems want Obama to take charge of climate bill. See, they have made sure that the good crisis has not gone to waste, and now the senators will demand that he puts through a climate change bill. Yeah, and you got Larry Schweiger from the National Wildlife Federation saying the crisis in the Gulf is about creating a safer energy platform. Now here's another thought that I had. Credo Mutwa, yeah, Credo Mutwa, as what's his name said there? Yeah, Credo Mutwa, who said that half the world's population won't live to see 2011, and it's because of oil. He didn't say it's actually the oil that's going to kill them. If they push through well, they got the Corexit and all that. That may do a lot of damage, and the oil itself, now it's coming down in Louisiana in the rain. But also the green energy reform is going to raise the cost of living. It might really disrupt a lot of things. Might disrupt food transportation, all kinds of things. So it is possible that the death will come out of the crisis, but it's not the oil itself that's going to kill the people. It's just a thought. And here's another thing. People saying, well, why would BP, want to be part of a false flag? BP, they're what do they call themselves now? Beyond Petroleum, right? They're going to be big on green energy. I mean, they are involved in green energy. That's just the direction that they're going to head into. They're not going to lose any money. Plus, these people, globalists, way at the top, they have an agenda they want to push. For one thing, they're rich, so whatever this is going to cost them, it's like, hey, no. My camera just died. So yeah, why would BP want to do this? Why? Because they're just going to be the leaders in green energy anyway. They're going to make lots of money off this. Plus, as I said, the people who own BP, they're globalists way out there, Bilderbergers, conspiracy people, right? Like implementing all this New World Order stuff. And so to them, this is just like, it's an investment. Because it's going to further the larger agenda, which is going to benefit them anyway. Not just in that, they were going to switch to green energy, but reducing the population, consolidating control, pushing through climate change, all those things that Copenhagen was about. That's what's going to come out of this. So it's not a sacrifice, it's an investment.